This is my hobby, the greatest hobby. Hello, everybody. Hobbyist here, now returning with our Talisman character explorations. And now, as you can see, there's 4 little distant figures. So, why is that? Well, we're going to be covering the Reaper expansion characters. Oh boy. I honestly am very excited to get into this because I really do love the Reaper characters. They're all so different in their own ways. And I'm more than excited to cover them for you. So first, let's get into the video. Here it is, the first character that we're going to be covering inside of our Reaper expansion characters. This is the Dark Cultist, a worshipper of the forces of darkness. Moving forward into her actual character card, this is the Beauty. She has a strength of 3, craft of 3, 1 fate, and 4 alliance. Now, something to take note. All characters that are going to be in these expansions have their own little symbol. This skull here is the symbol of everything that encompasses the Reaper expansion. Every single character, every single adventure card or anything that deals with the Reaper expansion is going to have this symbol. And it does make it easier to separate cards from certain expansions that you may or may not choose to play. Something that I want to point out real quick. But as you can see, we got 3 character abilities. She starts in the graveyard and she's evil. That's why we've got her right here. So, going into this first ability. When you attack another character, you may choose to make the attack psychic combat. You may not do this when you are attacked by another character. Connecting this to our base game video, where I talked about the wizard, the sorceress, and the ghoul. The Dark Cultist is another character that can attack using her craft. Because she's balanced with strength 3, craft 3, it's a little bit more lenient on whether you want to use this, but it is an ability that is within your arsenal that you can most definitely take advantage of. But with this second character ability, especially, this type of playstyle that the Dark Cultist has, she's more of a snowballer. Because everything with her card revolves around chance with the second ability. And that is, whenever you kill an enemy or defeat another character and force them to lose a life, roll 1 die to receive a gift from the forces of darkness. If you defeat a good character, you may add 1 to the score. If you roll a 1, you gain a fate. If you roll a 2, you gain a gold. Roll a 3, you gain a life. Roll a 4, gain a strength. Roll a 5, gain a craft. Or 6 or more, you can gain a spell. Again, this kind of is more of a snowball effect. If you're aggressively going after players, especially good characters, then you have the ability, as you're claiming trophies, as you're defeating enemies along the way, you have the ability to snowball as you're hoping to roll those 4s and those 5s to gain strength and craft, but that's not always going to be the case. In fact, because the Dark Cultist's ability to gain stats is more so focused on chance and in the enemies that she defeats or the characters she defeats, then you gotta take into consideration that whatever you roll on the chart is what you roll on the chart. You only have 1 fate as the Dark Cultist, so you gotta be able to spend that wisely. So, you have to be able to be adaptable on whatever things you roll. You might be rolling a lot of 1s and 2s to where you can gain a lot of fate, or gain a lot of gold. In which case, it might be more suitable for you to start shopping for more items that can boost up your stats more. Or you could be accumulating life with a ton of 3s, in which is definitely a good thing, or you could be accumulating spells with the 6s or more that you roll. Because remember, if you defeat a good character, you're adding 1 to your score. So you might be gaining spells, and with the base craft of 3, the Dark Cultist range when it comes to spells in the beginning is only 1 spell. If you remember me talking about how the spell chart works and how it correlates with craft. But now, the most important portion of the Dark Cultist's 3rd ability. When you are always evil, ignore any effects that change your alignment. Being stuck at the evil alignment has its pros and has its cons. Always being evil means things like evil darkness in the base game are going to play to your advantage. Anything that pops up that benefits evil characters are going to play to your advantage. But there might be some good items or some neutral items, especially when you get to the Sacred Pool expansion, that the Dark Cultist might not have access to. So you definitely got to keep that in mind, that you're going to be constantly searching for evil objects for her to carry, or just objects in general. And that your entire ability to grow snowballs depending on how you roll for each enemy that you defeat, or for every character that you decide to go after. So, how does the Dark Cultist compare in her own expansion, inside of the Reaper expansion? Well, I will say this. With her only having 1 fate, it does make it more difficult when the Reaper decides to come after her. Because if you don't remember, in our Reaper expansion tutorial, which I'll have posted up here, we had talked about how you might sometimes need fate depending on that Reaper chart. And being able to have a 1 in 6 chance to develop that fate may or may not play in your favor. It's something that you're more of a chance player when you decide to pick the Dark Cultist, so that's definitely something to consider. Of course, there's going to be a lot of different enemy types inside of the Reaper adventure deck, as there's 90 cards to go through. But overall, I definitely want to say that the Dark Cultist has her pros and cons. She has the ability to gain a lot of boost very quickly, or she might grow very stagnant. So you gotta determine for yourself if this 50-50 playstyle, in that choosing to endorse in the forces of evil is something that will benefit you the most when it comes to playing with the Dark Cultist. So thank you guys for tuning in for this video. This encompasses everything that I know about the Dark Cultist and experiences I've had with the Dark Cultist. And I'll see you guys in the next Reaper character video.